For years, businesses mainly cared about one thing, getting your money. But today, companies are becoming obsessed with something that comes before spending, your attention span. How long you watch, how long you scroll, how quickly you click, how often you return, how much time you spend engaged before losing interest. And across social media, streaming platforms, shopping apps, gaming, restaurants, news platforms, and even workplace software, businesses are redesigning products around one goal, keeping your attention for as long as possible. And the reason is simple. Modern companies realized attention drives almost every part of the economy now. The longer businesses hold your attention, the more opportunities they have to influence your behavior. More ads, more purchases, more subscriptions, more engagement, more data. Attention became incredibly valuable because it directly affects profit. For decades, businesses mostly competed on products and pricing, better quality, lower cost, faster service. But the internet changed everything. Consumers became overwhelmed with choices, thousands of apps, millions of videos, endless products, infinite entertainment. Businesses realized they were no longer only competing against direct competitors anymore, they were competing against distraction itself. A shopping app is not just competing against another retailer, it is competing against TikTok, Netflix, YouTube, Instagram, games, messages, everything fighting for consumer focus at the same time. That completely changed corporate strategy. Companies realized if they lose attention, they often lose revenue shortly afterward. So businesses started studying attention span aggressively. Social media companies helped create this shift first. Platforms discovered user attention could be monetized at enormous scale through advertising. The longer people stayed scrolling, the more profitable the platforms became. That discovery changed the modern economy permanently. Suddenly, keeping people engaged became more important than simply attracting them once. And businesses across every industry started copying the same engagement tactics. Notifications became nonstop. Apps introduced streaks and rewards. Streaming platforms autoplay content endlessly. Retailers created personalized recommendations. Games introduced daily challenges and limited time events. Everything became designed around keeping users returning constantly. Because attention became predictable revenue, and modern companies are obsessed with predictability right now. One major reason businesses care so much about attention span is advertising itself. Traditional advertising became weaker over time. Consumers learned to ignore many ads automatically. People scroll past commercials, skip videos, block pop-ups. Businesses realized occasional advertising was no longer enough. They needed ongoing engagement instead. That is why companies increasingly want consumers spending large amounts of time inside apps and ecosystems. The longer users stay engaged, the more businesses can influence future spending behavior. Streaming services are a perfect example. Platforms no longer simply want people watching one show, they want endless viewing sessions. Autoplay exists because every extra episode increases engagement. Recommendation algorithms constantly push more content before attention fades. The goal is removing stopping points completely. Social media took this even further. Infinite scrolling systems are intentionally designed so users never reach a natural ending, because once people stop, they may leave, and businesses know returning attention is never guaranteed. Artificial intelligence is making this battle even more aggressive. AI systems now analyze enormous amounts of behavioral data to predict exactly what keeps people engaged longest, what headlines trigger clicks, what emotions increase watch time, what videos prevent users from leaving, what notifications pull users back fastest. Businesses use this information to optimize products around attention retention, and the better companies become at understanding behavior, the more powerful these systems become. That is why platforms increasingly feel strangely personalized, because businesses are constantly testing how your brain reacts. Another major reason companies suddenly care about attention span is competition. Most industries became overcrowded. Consumers already have streaming subscriptions, shopping apps, delivery services, social media accounts, and endless entertainment options. Finding entirely new customers became harder. So businesses shifted focus toward maximizing engagement from existing users instead. That changed the corporate mindset completely. Now companies want customers returning constantly, not occasionally. Habit formation became the strategy. That is why apps increasingly use psychological techniques borrowed from gaming. Progress bars, rewards, notifications, streaks, badges, variable rewards. These systems trigger emotional behavior that encourages repeated engagement. Businesses discovered emotionally engaged users are far more profitable than passive customers. Retailers now study attention patterns too. How long customers pause while scrolling, which products hold focus longest, what causes people to leave shopping carts, what colors increase interaction, what layouts increase purchases. Shopping itself became part behavioral science. Even restaurants and fast food chains increasingly compete for attention like media companies. Limited time meals, viral menu items, celebrity collaborations, social media friendly packaging. The food itself became entertainment content. Because businesses know attention spreads faster online than traditional advertising ever did. And there is another reason companies became obsessed with attention span: data. The more time users spend inside platforms, the more behavioral information businesses collect. What people watch, what they ignore, how long they hesitate, what emotions drive action. That information helps companies improve targeting, recommendations, pricing, and retention systems. Data strengthens prediction, and prediction protects profits. This is why modern businesses increasingly care less about one-time purchases and more about ongoing engagement. A customer who checks an app daily becomes far more valuable over time than someone who visits once occasionally. That creates stable revenue opportunities. And perhaps the biggest reason companies are suddenly so interested in your attention span is this: modern businesses realized attention itself became one of the most powerful forms of economic control. If a company controls enough attention, it can influence shopping behavior, media consumption, emotional habits, and long-term customer loyalty. That makes attention incredibly valuable, more valuable than many physical products themselves. And consumers are starting to feel the effects everywhere: shorter attention spans, constant notifications, digital exhaustion, endless scrolling, apps designed to feel impossible to leave. Many people feel like every platform, service, and business is competing aggressively for mental space all the time, because they are. Modern companies no longer simply want customers who buy products. They want customers who stay emotionally connected, constantly engaged, and continuously returning. Because in today's economy, attention is no longer just part of business. For many companies, attention became the business model itself. For years, businesses mainly cared about one thing: